Kelly Osbourn is pissed off at Becky Lynch for being too savage on the microphone. WWE respond. All this and more on today's episode of Wrestling Absorber Radio. My name is Dan Frampton. Likes and subs. Let's go. So what the hell am I even talking about over here? We got professional wrestler Becky Lynch, who is one of the best promos in the game right now. She had a hell of a promo on Friday night. Then on Monday, she was like, you know what? I'm gonna be even more savage. I'm gonna go in on Birmingham. So she goes out there and she is just delivering one of these fire-ass promos in the ring with Nikki Bella, building to their match at Clash in Paris. And the line that drew the most ire from the family of Osbourns is the following. Becky said in her promo, and I quote, "The only good thing that came out of here died months ago, but in fairness, Ozzy Osbourn had the good sense to move to LA, a proper city, because if I lived in Birmingham, I'd die too." Pretty savage, but I wouldn't say over the line or too soon or anything like that. But I'm not related to Ozzy Osbourne or anything. That's just Becky Lynch going out there, just really getting that heat. And then to claim he moved to a proper city, LA, that's just like some of the most professional wrestling dialogue of all time. I wouldn't get actually mad at this. I don't think if I was related to Ozzy. Ozzy is in the WWE Hall of Fame. I think he would have enjoyed this. And the fact that it's so close to his death would have added more intrigue to it, and Ozzy would have been like, yeah, that's the kind of morbid stuff that I like. But Kelly Osbourn did not feel the same way. Kelly Osbourn took to Instagram, fired up the story, and tagged a Becky Lynch fan account thinking that it was Becky Lynch. I could just imagine this Becky Lynch fan account waking up to this being tagged by Kelly Osbourn, being thrown into the middle of this beef, being like, what the hell did I do? I just love Becky Lynch so much. So this is like the most hilarious bit of like media illiteracy that I wasn't expecting in this beef. But either way, the message ended up making its way to Becky, I'm sure. This thing made its way all across the internet. And it says, Becky Lynch fan 11, you are a disrespectful dirtbag. Birmingham would not even piss on you if you were on fire. Birmingham forever. Shame on the WWE for allowing such things to be said about my father and his home. How dare they, Kelly Osbourn? How absolutely dare they go after the lowest hanging fruit to get the cheapest heat imaginable in the most professional wrestling way ever during a professional wrestling show in Ozzy's hometown. Yeah, really, really outlandish stuff. So when this first hit the timeline, people are thinking, you know what? The Aussies get wrestling. Maybe Kelly is just kind of playing along. Maybe she's doing a little bit of a work thing over here. But the fact that she tagged a fan account kind of indicates that she was just kind of like in an emotional rush and she's just typing and just hit Becky Lynch, hacked it, didn't even care and just kept typing or whatever. But the inclusion of the fan account is so funny. And this is the account right here. Becky Lynch source right in the bio. Becky Lynch fan 11, and it's the #1 source for everything the man, Becky Lynch. Clearly listed, not impersonating, but still, Kelly Osbourn's out here tagging the fan account. Very hilarious. So then after I sat with this for a little bit, I ended up thinking, you know what, it was really close to Ozzy's death. It really doesn't seem like Kelly's working over here. Maybe she is actually sad and actually angry about this whole thing. Maybe she does think that Becky is being a disrespectful dirtbag. But Clash in Paris is very soon, and wrestlers be out here working, trying to do new things to work the internet, work the sheets, work the marks in all these new kind of ways. So there's a part of me that thinks Kelly Osbourn's gonna show up in Paris during the Becky Lynch Nikki Bella match. But either way, the fact that the line is being blurred, people can't really tell what's real, what's not real. Is Kelly Osbourn in on it? Is she just a worker? Is she just another celebrity in and around the wrestling business? What's going on here? So now that I'm even talking about it further, I don't even know. Every time I approach this story, I end up walking away with a different impression. The first time I was like, yeah, she's totally working. Then when I fired up this camera to make this video, I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, she's probably actually hurt. And then the more I listened to myself talk, I was like, you know what? She might actually be working. But then after that, WWE responded. Now, WWE doesn't respond to basically anything. They don't apologize for anything. You can go out there and do the most egregious stuff in the world. They're not going to apologize for it. They're just going to let it exist out there until it disappears or whatever. But for this, WWE is going to come out and apologize? Now I'm scratching my head. Now it kind of feels like a work, because according to Cultaholic over here, WWE is reportedly embarrassed by Becky Lynch's Ozzy Osbourn comments. Now, according to Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer, he said, quote, "I was told that WWE is embarrassed and that they're probably going to do an apology. If you look back on how many times WWE has actually apologized for something, it ain't many. There's a discussion about doing a public apology. I know they've talked about doing a private apology." And then this Becky Lynch reaction shot, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. Come on now. So I'm kind of on the fence with it. I'm not exactly sure if Kelly Osbourne is working or not. Brian Alvarez is one of those dirt sheet guys, but now WWE is trying to work the dirt sheet guys into spreading misinformation in order for them to protect their stories. So I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but it does add a little bit of intrigue to the Clash in Paris match, because honestly, there's not much going on. There's not a lot of heat in the Becky Lynch-Nikki Bella feud, not by a long shot. So hopefully they end up actually playing off of this. And maybe they do kind of like a Roger Jackson kind of thing where they're like, hey, just go out there, get your verbal receipt in public during the match, but don't actually go out there and pummel her face into the ground and, you know, pay her a good sum of money, like do it the proper way. I can see that kind of happening too. And then them not letting us know what exactly happened behind the scenes, if it was real or fake to begin with. There's a lot of ways that they could approach this now that an Osbourne is involved. But what do you think of this thing? Do you think she's working? Do you think that this is all legit and above the board? I want to know. Comment down below. And if you comment within the first 3 hours, I will reply. That is just the Frampton guarantee. Since this is like the smallest channel as a part of the whole Frampton network, I don't think that there's going to be a lot of comments within the first 3 hours. I do have 4 channels a part of the network, and I do suggest that you go subscribe to every single one of them. I'll leave links to all those channels in the description. And in other news, in order to pad out this video, jumping over the line now to AEW, let's talk about Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland is one of these guys that AEW successfully turned into a star, and today it's reported that he underwent surgery to repair a meniscus in his knee. The Absorber reads The Observer, and it says, Swerve Strickland had surgery on Wednesday to finally repair a torn meniscus that he suffered in 2019. The legitimate knee issue had recently been worked into an AEW storyline, culminating in an injury angle that took place at Forbidden Door to explain Strickland's upcoming absence. The article continues, there hasn't been any word on how long Strickland is expected to be out of action, and another one of AEW's top stars, Will Ospreay, is also out for surgery. Those are 2 really vicious blows that the company's gonna take here. That's a good percentage of your top tier main event talent just out right now. So is AEW gonna elevate somebody to the next position? Let's see. Swerve posted this to social media post-op. Looks like he's got it all wrapped up and ready for healing, so wishing him nothing but the best. And one more story before we get out of here. Shayna Baszler has just announced her first match since being released from the WWE, and it's gonna be against Masha Slamovich Sunday, October 5th in Portland, Oregon. So that's cool, that's great, all right. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.